Hey guys, I'm in Port St. Lucie, Florida right now, and I'm on the way to an appointment with one of my students. Actually just purchased a house, and so I'm getting off the main road. In this case, this is Prima Vista Boulevard. I'm getting off that main road, and I'm going to be gridding through here looking for some potential deals. So first thing you want to do when you're doing this is drive slowly, right? I see people, they just whiz through, and the next thing you want to do is just start taking a look at the houses and pay attention to anything that could be vacant or boarded up, and that could be an opportunity, right? So I'm going to drive around here, and I'm going to go nice and slow. I'm currently going a little too fast. I'm going 20. Slow it down a drop to around 15. There we go. Alright, now we're coming across actually this is Violet Avenue, which is the first street that I purchased a house on in Port St. Lucie. Actually my first deal ever. It was an interesting story. I put an ad in the newspaper saying we buy houses for cash, and I got a call from this guy right after the first hurricane that hit St. Lucie County. And he said, hey, I'm a contractor, and I got a contract on this house, and I'd like to sell it. I got $10,000 deposit up, and if you can give me my $10,000 deposit back, you can have the house. And I called Ben, the guy that taught me real estate, and I said, hey, Ben, I think I got a deal. And I told him the story, and he was like, oh, this is definitely a deal, right? So driving along like this, try and go slow, go a little too fast. This is right now 15. So just so you can get an idea, as you see the houses I'm driving by, and over my shoulder here you can see the houses in the background. So not very fast. And there we go. Here's candidate number 1. So let's see if you guys can see that. There it is. Okay, so on that house, I'm going to pull over here because I got an impatient person behind me. So on that house, basically you got a blue top and a lockbox. So it appears to be vacant, and it could be anything. It could be a property that got damaged in the previous hurricane. We had Hurricane Irma. Some people got their houses damaged in that. It could be a bank owned property. It could be something that's going to be coming on the market. So a couple of things that you can do in this scenario is first thing you want to do is make a note of the address, right? So if you're noting down the address, then you can send them a postcard. Another thing you can do is you could get out of your car, you could take a look at it, see if it definitely is vacant, and look up the property and see what the deal is with that. So a couple of tools that are very, very useful for doing that. One of them is an app. It's called Deal Machine. And as I say that, I'm passing the code enforcement vehicle that's driving around looking for people that are working on properties without a permit. So one of the apps that's really good for that is called Deal Machine. And Deal Machine is an app that you can download on your phone, which allows you to plug in the property address, and it'll come back with the owner's information, and you can set it up so that you can send out a postcard to the owner. Alright, so just driving along like this, you would think that an activity like this is a waste of time, right? Most people would think that. I see a lot of big investors that just won't do this. I think it really boils down to, I guess, how much has a house for sale. Just passing over there, you can see the for sale sign, right? So if you've got your realtor.com app, you can plug it in, see how much they're asking for that house. You would be surprised how much you see if you just start driving around like this. So instead of killing an appointment, it's like 11:55, and I've got a 12:30 appointment. So it's going to take me, I would estimate, about 15 minutes to get over to the next property address, which would give me about 15 or 20 minutes to spare. So I could go and, what most people would do is get on the phone and play on Facebook, or maybe they'll stop at a Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee. But what I do instead is I just get off on one of the roads and I go around and take a look. So I'm going to circle around now. I'm getting a feel for the area. There's another property for sale. to go back to that street we were on. I got a lot of impatient drivers here behind me, but there's another property for sale right there. And I'm going to go back to that street we were on, and I'm going to see what the story is with that house. Alright? Okay, now if I can just remember which street I was on, that would be fantastic, right? I'm going to guess that this is it. There's another code enforcement truck behind me. They're just driving all around town today. Okay, let's see. So you just get in the habit of driving slow and just looking at every house, and you'll learn how to very quickly tell houses when you see a lockbox on the property, or you see a blue top, or anything that indicates any kind of situation where there could be some kind of distress, and then that's something that you can go and work on, right? So here's the property with the top coming up, and I'm going to go ahead and pull over, and let's see if I can turn this around and show you guys. Alright, so there's the house. You can see the blue top, you can see the lockbox on the door. Right? Okay, so now, there I am. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make note of this. So I've got 797, and what street am I on? Figure out what street I'm on here. 797. Get to the next major corner and see what street we're on. I would put it up on my GPS, but my GPS has got an app on it right now. So we're at 797 Curtis. Alright, so now what I do is I'm going to go ahead and pull out my phone, and I'm going to open up the Deal Machine app, and I'm going to plug in 797 Curtis. And then what I'm going to do is send a postcard and say, hey, do you want to sell your house? If you do, I'm interested in buying it. And the time that elapsed from when I turned off that main road till now is about, well, it was 11:50, it's now 11:58. So it's about 8 minutes, all right? So that's all it took, turning off a main road. It took 8 minutes to find a vacant property with damage. And if I send that postcard out to that homeowner, and let's say I were to buy that house, and let's assume I could get $25,000 or $30,000 profit on that house, then it'd be pretty good for 8 minutes of work, right? Would you agree? Too many people don't do this, and there's not a lot of properties. For example, in this entire road I've driven on, which is kind of more of a busy road, there hasn't been one single property for sale on this entire street, and there also hasn't been any boarded up vacant properties or any properties with lock boxes. And here I am back at the main street, and ironically right on the corner of this main street there is a house for sale right there. That's the only house for sale. So flushing out that one deal and finding that one house with that blue top is how you can make money. And if you have the ability to scale your business by hiring bird dogs and paying people, and you say, listen, here's my app, I'll make you a user, drive around every house that you find that's boarded up or vacant, I'll give you a certain amount. You could pay them either a percentage on the deal, or you could pay them $500 or $1,000 per house, or you could give them $15 or $20 per lead that they provide to you, and then you simply just get those postcards out. You could have a whole slew of people driving around looking for deals for you, and the deals are out there, they're everywhere. Remember, every day in the United States of America there's people whose houses get burnt down, hurricane damage, flood damage, water damage, pipe damage, you name it, and these people want to sell, and who better than you to buy them, right? Alright, so that's another video for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.